I was here last, or if you want to talk about the doors or look at those, or look at the lights are new, or
Yeah, these lights are also new. We replaced
Yeah.
them.
So those are what?
LEDs.
And we talked about this because I was concerned about how easy or not easy it is to put these in an older house. And you said now they're so light they just.
Yeah, they just clip into the sheetrock. There's no boxes or anything for them. They're great. It's easy.
So they're
And
very
they come in
easy.
different sizes. These are 4-inch. You can get 6-inch.
Yeah, I like the 4-inch because they're modern and it doesn't feel so.
And now you can change the colors. 5 different colors you can have on these things.
This particular one has the LED color strip,
Yes.
so that's a party in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then we can look at the doors. So we talked about this too. So one of the things that I wanted to help you with when I came in was obviously like giving this cottage some life back and like putting a little like makeup back on the girl because she got so many good bones and all it really needed was a good cleaning and a freshen up. And then to add a little detail that made it feel a little special because when you first took over this property, you were saying that like it was half done and then you got someone in here and but now we're in an opportunity where you can put some of these little finishing touches on to make it look so sweet.
Yes, especially you suggested the trim on the doors is really nice.
Yeah. So I know when we talked about it, how hard was it to apply? You want to talk over the process? Did it feel like it was a daunting task, or was it kind of a simple thing once we got rolling?
Oh, it was fairly simple.
Yeah.
Just cut the 45-degree angle on them and glue and nail them on.
Yeah, and it makes a world of difference. And so in terms of like, what do you think, because I didn't actually price them out, and maybe you did, what kind of savings did we catch on that? Besides like replacing all the doors. If someone were to look at something like this and say like, what should I do? And is it worth me just working with what I have or replacing the doors? But I think it's a significant savings, is it not?
It is, yeah, definitely. Yeah. As compared to replacing the doors, this was really nothing.
Yeah. And so we ended up with new hinges all over and new doorknobs, which actually made everything fresh as well. So that's here and here. And then we can talk through, we can keep, touring. One of the things that we both discussed on whether or not it made a difference or not was I pushed you to get decorative lighting.
Yes.
So how do you feel now that you see them up?
Oh, I like them a lot.
Yeah, they're
That's
elegant.
a good idea, yeah.
They give light. And do we know anything about the lights? What did you put in here? 60s?
It came with the bulbs.
Oh.
So I don't know what's in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we were talking about a
That's
price.
good deal, yeah.
And it came with the bulbs.
Right.
So buy one, get one, it seemed like,
Yeah.
over here. So this comes all the way down to what's going to be this is different.
A
So,
little bit more light.
yeah, but right now we're looking at the difference between what? Incandescent and, what are these again?
Fluorescent?
Fluorescent.
Yeah.
Fluorescent makes it blue? Cold?
Well, it depends on the bulb that's in there.
Yeah.
It's fairly warm, but
Yeah. So.
we might put something else up there. We don't know yet.
Yeah, that was maybe my finishing touch. In here, we did a simple job, and you just painted over what was here. At first, I was hesitant, and I was telling you just knock it down and start fresh. But you convinced me that it was worth it. And one of the reasons why I chose a dark color, was because there was some damage to the cabinetry. So I wanted to make sure that whatever we did, we concealed that. I felt like if we did it in white, you might see some of like the imperfections that still were a hint toward the damage that was done with your last tenant.
Right. And the people I've got working on it did such a fantastic job restoring them.
So the only thing that you were talking about maybe later is addressing what's on top here, whether or not it's a really good place for additional storage. That's how you feel about it.
Or
I've been on the fence.
Even something decorative up,
Yeah.
put a shelf up there.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
And then over here, I thought because it is a small space and we are spending some money, or you're spending some money, I should say, on new countertops, sink, faucet, that we can explore some tile.
Right.
Yeah.
With a
So.
backsplash. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that I'll show you in a minute. And I bought another secret. And then as you walk down here in this cottage, which is so darling, is you get a master or primary bedroom and then a bathroom. And dead center, because this is so small, we have the fridge. And when I first came in here, I really thought that, and I insisted that we lower, this looked like a closet when we first came in.
Yes, there was
Yeah.
quite a bit of clearance between the top of the refrigerator and the top of the ceiling, but it looks better now.
Yeah, I mean,
It fits much better.
the only thing I would maybe ask of you, but I'll like see if you'll do it, was what we did as a trick in the bathroom, which we're going to talk about, is maybe get the thinner molding here so it doesn't feel so pressed wall to wall. But I don't know if that's going to help us.
Well, it helped out quite a bit around that small
Yeah.
shelf area with the thinner molding.
Yeah, so I think this is really nice because it relates to the fridge having a home and that we're not trying to force a fridge in a closet.
Right.
So I really like that, and you know, we both struggled, or you struggled more than I did, was whether or not we were losing storage on top of the fridge, and my argument was, who's getting their hands up there?
Right.
They can use the garage or other places to store their stuff.
Well, that's true. There's plenty of room in the garage.
Yeah. So as we walk into the primary bedroom, it's got a great view outside, you know, natural light comes in, and then there's plenty of cabinetry here, which I also like, or closet space, we should say. And this, we also just did a touch-up with.
Yes, yeah.
So cabinet space, new paint on the doors, new knobs, new hinges, and then I chose a color for this room. What did I call it? Silver sage?
Yes, silver sage.
So it's kind of a green, and I think it's really sweet because it goes gray, it goes masculine, it goes feminine, and it gives some sense of color and vibrancy, and not, you know, too commercial. I think for people who come in and rent sometimes, they're like, oh, I have boring white walls. So I wanted to give that to whoever comes in here, that they can have like a little bit of warmth. And I was very, very cognizant of skin tone, how different color skins look on colors on the wall, because, you know, I'm a girl, I'm vain, and I like to look at myself in the mirror, and sometimes if the room is too white, I feel like, what just happened? Did I even sleep? Was I a ghost? So I wanted to create some of these warmer tones in here so that wherever you were, your flesh tone really kind of felt good and warm.
Yeah.
And that's some of the madness behind some of the paint choices, in case you did not know. Okay, so here is really our last big work in progress, and that's the bathroom. So I follow this woman, Kelly Rissler. I kind of sent you a couple of her inspirations as text messages. She's fabulous. She really likes to be inspired by different decades and then really go full force and bring that decade time and essence of how people decorated into, you know, the 2020s. And so she's done like amazing 70s, she does 80s, she does 90s. And when I saw the tile, I thought, actually, some designers are throwing this in today, even though this dates back to what? What do you think?
The early 70s.
Okay. This color I kind of like, believe it or not. And we've talked about, you suggested to me the other day, should we paint over the tile? And that you knew somebody who could do that. What are your thoughts? I have my own, but I'll hear you.
I'd rather leave it the way it is. I like the color. I think once it's cleaned up, it'll be fine.
And I'm afraid of it, like, you know, maybe there's a lot of DIYers out there that have had like a really good experience with the paint, but I worry if it gets like paint strokes and, you know, you kind of see imperfections, and from a big picture, when someone says, look, I did it, it looks great, maybe it's photoshopped, but I'm afraid to actually apply it in any scenario that I'm working on, for the fear that it's gonna look sloppy, it's gonna drip, and then how it does is meet the grout, and it just seems like a process that's not for us right now.
No, I agree 100%. And we're changing the fixtures. These are going to be moved, and we'll put new ones here.
Yeah, and so you said you're going to have the plumber out, and he's
Yes.
going to talk to you about like universal fittings, what companies are going to fit in here, and then that's kind of an easy swap or a difficult swap. I guess we're going to find out.
We'll find out, but whatever it is, we're going to have to change them.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. Yeah.
New vanity, new toilet, and then this was the place that we were talking about when we first came in. This had molding, you know, really wall to wall, and it felt really tight. And as someone who wants to, you know, have access to their stuff, sometimes I think an optical illusion of making something feel like it's in its space, and here it just feels a little bit more open, allows me to get in here just a little bit better than when the molding was out here.
Right.
You may think I'm crazy.
No, I agree.
But
it looks much better.
Yeah, it feels like it fits. You know, it was a
Yes.
small little opening. It didn't need standard molding. It needed something that was petite and kind of worked with the space. So this is amazing. Storage, towels, shampoos, toilet paper, everything that you could imagine can go in here.
Oh, yeah.
And there's plenty of room for that. And the last thing I'll talk about, and I just said it in the other space, was the color of the walls. One of the things about keeping the old tile was I really felt strongly that we needed something that actually worked or kind of was in the same color story of the tile. That's why this feels like, you know, a taupe, and then I went to like a tan or a warmer type of white for these walls, so that it kind of felt like it was in unison, almost like a little box. So it's looking pretty good right now. You'll give us the update here.
Right.
And then the last thing that we can talk about is the trim. So our last conversation about it was you feeling like it was a big expense to maybe put into
The crown mold.
the crown mold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guess what I happen to do for you, just to give you inspiration, I bought a piece of stick.
Okay.
You know, this one I've actually used before. It's very affordable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like nothing. So it's, you know,
Okay.
I kind of wanted to see, you know, again, crown molding in the space. Maybe you'll humor me with certain feature areas that we can put it, or maybe straighter walls. Maybe this isn't the room, but I think that it does add a little bit of extra like finishing touches. And for me, it always immediately addresses the issue between the paint from the ceiling to the wall. You know, as neat as a painter can do it, sometimes I still feel like I'm stuck looking in the corners, like, wait, did I see a little imperfection?
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, the crown does that.
Okay.
So maybe you'll humor me with that, and I'll come back and you'll tell me
We'll
that
see.
you've thought about it. And then, as we talked about, I brought a couple samples over just to look at tiles, you know, for the backsplash. I thought this was very cool because it mimics the squares, and it's a story of the bathroom, which
Yeah.
is little squares. You know, which could be very kind of sweet. And the nice thing and a tip for people who might be doing this on their own, or, you know, renovating a small space, is you want to spend money where you think there's going to be impact and where you think that you don't have to spend that much of it. If this was a huge kitchen, I might not push so hard for an investment into the space, but I feel like it's very small. The square footage is manageable, and it's like a really good opportunity to have a finishing touch. Here's just a simple subway tile we can think about. We'll leave it here and we'll, you know,
Yeah.
digest it. And this was kind of cool based on the,
Well, that's very close to what the countertop is going to be.
yeah, it's almost like a little bit of an opposite of it. So I think maybe those could be cool.
Yeah.
So these are things that can live in here for a couple of days, and we can just get inspiration when we come in and out.
All right. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so that's where we're gonna end it today. And oh, the last of it, which we've been walking around this whole entire time and we didn't really address, was the flooring. So let's take this back out into the space, right?
Yep.
And we can look at it. Now, you were questioning the direction. This
Yes,
is
I think
for-
we agreed on in this direction.
Yeah.
Kind of late. From
So-
the living room, work our way all the way to here.
When you first came in this space, you had said to me, do you think maybe we should have carpet in the master because it's warmer? And I kind of molded over, and I think, you know, for anyone who's really thinking about renting the space, having something that's, you know, wipeable, hardworking is probably a better solution, and anyone can bring a rug and put it to their own design. But
Yeah.
sometimes people who come in may or may not be turned off by the colors you choose on the floor, and they feel like it's a commitment. They're like, oh, I don't want to live in a room with a gray rug, or I don't want to live in a room with a tan rug, brown rug, whatever you end up with. So I think that this idea that we're going to carry this throughout the whole entire house, one, is going to make it feel more uniform, and two, is going to increase the probability that it's not going to have as much wear and tear long term with somebody in the house as a
Right.
renter. And I think that I'm not a landlord, but I think that must be a concern, because you hope that you're going to get a great tenant. You hope that the person that comes in is going to respect the space as much as you do, but you really don't know what you're going to get. So kind of these bulletproof ideas, we hope, you know, save you in the long run.
Oh, yeah. And I agree 100% because I've been through it before.
Yeah.
Install new carpeting in a rental, and people move in, don't like it, and they tear it out.
Yeah.
So
Me included.
I agree.
So yeah, this is, and I decided here to go with this lighter tone.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many tones of flooring. This is a vinyl panel, and the Y planks, because I thought it felt cottagey, and I think that this light tone allows people to put dark furnishing on it, and it also allows all the walls to do their own thing without everything feeling kind of like condensed and brought in. And plus, it's a very popular color right now. Works with the existing tile, and we're looking for, even though this is an older space, and the rental market has a lot of fancy new bells and whistles, right? You have all these sky rises, you have Stanford that has all these new builds, you have all these brand new apartments that people can go in that are move-in ready. And so what I really wanted to put in here was decorative ideas that made people think that there was a lot of value in what we were doing, and also to bring in some current, fresh stuff that people are seeing in other places, like the countertop, the color of the countertop, light floors, which are very popular, you know, grays, black hinges, black hardware, and new lighting. I think that whoever comes in here is going to be hopefully a very special person and really appreciate all the hard work that you did.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay.